Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tina, also known as Little T, and today we are getting ready to make some deep dish pizza. I've made this once before, and so we're gonna go for it again. I'm going to use my cast iron skillet. Right here, I've got my oven preheating to 410 degrees, so somewhere between 400 and 450 would be good. And I'm also going to oil this with some olive oil before I put the dough in. I made some dough before we went to the pool after work. It's a Friday, we like to have pizza on Fridays. So here's my dough, it's already risen. I punched it down and I'm going to line it inside my cast iron skillet once I get it oiled. And then we will chop some of this red onion. Probably use half of this Gimme Lean plant-based sausage, and then I will add some Italian seasoning. I just buy the Walmart brand. And we like ours a little bit spicy. We are currently out of jalapenos, so we'll add a little bit of red pepper, some crushed red pepper. And I bought these two cheeses. They're plant-based cheese, the True Goodness brand. I have mozzarella style and Parmesan style shreds. And we'll also add some marinara that I have in the refrigerator. I just have a jar. I think it's either Kroger brand or Myers brand of marinara sauce, and we'll add that to it, and then we'll get to cooking. But first I need to get my pan oiled, so you'll join me here in just a minute when we get that done, and we also get to chopping our onion and getting the plant-based sausage into a skillet. So let's go. This is a really big red onion. We're just gonna take about half of that. So it's half of a quarter of a gigantic red onion. And dice that up. I've got this nice non-stick skillet. Put that in there and get it on the stove. Gimme Lean. Just half of it. When I've used this before, I like to chunk it up before I put it into the skillet, just to get it into smaller bites. So it'll be more like regular pork sausage that you might have used before or grew up using. I know my grandma and grandpa, we had sausage for breakfast. This is very similar in texture. So we got those in the skillet together, and we'll get those cooked up. Got it on medium on the stove. Next we're gonna punch down the dough. Get our cast iron skillet. Some organic extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to use my hands and line the pan with it all the way up to the top, because the last time I made this, the pizza rose to the very top edge of the skillet. Don't want it to stick. It's harder to get out of the pan. We have our dough here. And you could just buy, you don't have to make it homemade, you could just buy dough from the store. I think they have frozen dough, or they just have dough mixes you could use. We just have the dough in the pan, line kind of going up the sides a little bit, you can see. I'm just going to cover it with a towel until we're ready to add the ingredients. Now we'll get over to the stove. It's going to cook a little bit more, and then we'll add some spices to it, the Italian seasoning I showed you, and also the crushed red pepper. But we're just going to let it cook for a while, and we'll join back after it's ready to be added to the pizza. Alright, it's just about done. I added probably a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning and maybe half a teaspoon of the red pepper flakes. Of course, those seasonings will be to your taste, so you add however much you feel is appropriate for your family. And the onions are getting sort of translucent, and the sausage is browning on the side. My oven has preheated, so it's ready. We've had our marinara sauce in the refrigerator, so I just covered it and put it in the microwave and warmed it up. It's probably about 2/3 to 3/4 of a cup, and if it's not enough, I'll just add some more from the jar. I'm gonna turn off the burner since that's done. Set it back there. As far as like ratios go, I'm going to add more mozzarella than I am Parmesan. So here's the plant-based mozzarella. And we've gone through phases where we just eat our homemade pizza without cheese. I feel like the non-dairy cheese has improved so much over the years that we've gotten to where we're used to eating more non-dairy cheese. This is the Parmesan. I'm going to add not quite as much, but just enough to give some nice flavor along the top. So I do crust, sauce, cheese. Try to spread it right to the edge of the crust. And then we'll add our cooked toppings. And we see that's not even all that's in the skillet. I'm just going to spread it out and see how much it looks like, and if we need to add more or if that's enough. I think that's enough. Our boxer Lucy will probably like a few bites of that fake sausage. We'll see if she gets any or not. I'm going to do just a little sprinkle of Parmesan on top of the toppings. Just a teeny tiny sprinkle. Of course, you can do any toppings you like. We've done peppers, mushrooms. Of course, I would always saute the mushrooms first because they have so much water in them. You want to make sure that that's gotten out of it before you get it on your pizza, or else it would make your pizza kind of soggy. But we're going to go with this and get it in the oven. So I'm going to move the camera so we can see it going into the oven, and we'll get this homemade deep dish pizza going. In we go. Top shelf, it's middle of the oven, middle rack, and we'll do it for 30 minutes. I'm going to check it at 20 and see how it's doing. The last time it did take 30 full minutes to bake. All right, our timer is going off. Let's get this pizza out of the oven. Turn the timer off. And it's been going for 30 minutes, 31 minutes maybe. Look at that. Let's get it on our wire rack. Shut the oven. And let's get in close here where we can see it. I'm gonna get a knife and see if the middle is done. It still feels a little bit doughy in the middle, whereas the edges are quite done. So I'm going to put it back in the oven for 5 more minutes, and then we'll take it back out. So we'll check back in then. All right, we've done an extra 5 minutes. Let's see what that's done for our deep dish pizza. I think it's fully baked. It's just a little weighted down in the center by the ingredients. You can see how pretty that looks. Now I'm going to try and get it out of the pan, and then we will take a picture of it once it's out. See how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, we got it lifted up. Let's move this out of the way. We got our oven turned off. And there is our pizza. We're gonna let it cool for about 5 minutes and then we will cut into it and see how it turned out. All right, here we go. 2 pieces. We'll probably get a little bit of barbecue and some mustard to serve on top of it. But look at that crust. Deep dish pizza. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe of making deep dish pizza together. And I will see you next time for another video on the Big B and Little T channel. Have a great day.